Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
For me, I think what Bernard Ndong was doing was boxing. Others might say he was doing karate. The conversation we want to have this morning is on karate, the state of what is karate, how is it different from the other martial arts that we see, the state of karate in the country. And of course this morning we are joined by the Secretary General of the Karate Association of Kenya. Mr. Mutoko, thank you so much for coming and joining us this morning. And of course that team on that end that is overworking. This is a very, very disciplined sport, eh?
Absolutely, Kirigo. And you know one thing about karate is that if you look at it historically, this is a sport that began in the country about 40 years ago, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Mutuku.
Yeah,
and it shows just the ideals of the sport emphasizing the aspect of discipline. As you can see how coordinated they were there.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Mutoko.
Yeah.
Is karate considered a sport? Because we know it as a self-defense mechanism. So is it considered a sport? And if it is, under what category does it fall?
Karate is actually considered as a sport, as an art of discipline, it's a way of life. And having practiced karate and having achieved that black belt, actually you really know how to live with your society with a lot of discipline. You don't just go kicking the way you see them are doing. There's a lot of things you need to learn behind that. It's like the way maybe a police is armed with a gun, you go shooting around, it's not allowed.
Your mind has to be there. That's one thing I've noticed. Your mind has to be there. You have
yeah.
Concentrate.
Yeah. In actual sense, when we talk of self-defense, the first thing we teach people is to evade violence, unless you are being cornered. So karate has much more than what people see.
Okay. Are all these black belt holders?
Yeah, as you see, this is a rank.
The highest rank when it comes to karate?
The color could be the highest, but the stages are so different.
Explain to us.
They are called dance.
Dance.
So like this one, this one, the white one here,
this is a beginner's belt.
Okay.
It's a white belt.
Okay.
A basic person who comes to the gym with a kimono gi.
Yes.
You put on a white belt until the stage that you are allowed to wear a yellow.
Okay.
A yellow to a green. In a period of 4 years, you have achieved your black belt.
So it's not a one-time thing. 6 months you achieve a black belt.
I think for me, it's not a fact that I'm a beginner. I think it's taking me more than 4 years.
More than 4 years?
4 years or even less if you are very active.
So what goes into it exactly for somebody to advance from this particular belt to the next one? What do you look at? Because you've stated that there are some pre-qualifications that somebody needs to have. What are they?
First of all, there is consistency in training. At least a minimum of 3 days per week.
Okay.
It's very hard to maintain it in this hectic society. Sometimes you break away. So that's what extends the duration of achieving the black belt. But if you are able, that's why you see most of the persons in the forces can achieve it more quickly than a person out there who is struggling, because you have the time to train. And to take this opportunity to thank every person who encourages karate, because it's a form of discipline. That's how you can make a peaceful society. With karate, martial arts.
Let me ask you, what's the difference between karate and all the other forms of martial arts we see? Because for me, what Bernard was doing, for me, looked like boxing. You know, then we've heard of Muay Thai. There are quite a number of martial arts. What's the difference between karate and and other forms of, martial arts?
So, karate is actually, when you see all the martial arts, so to speak, they emphasize on the same thing: self-defense, discipline, and it's your choice to train this. Everything is okay. But the way karate is being taught, is being subdivided to different categories. You can train on breaking. You've seen people breaking the woods and
hard metals.
Yeah, you can train on that.
Yeah.
You can train on sports. what you saw Bernard doing is part of sports karate.
Okay.
There's a lot of self-defense that's what is encouraged in the process, and maybe some people who think they are so grown. Karate is not for, it doesn't determine any age.
It's interesting, Mtuko, that you've talked about that karate is practiced by mostly people in the armed forces.
Yeah.
You're a police officer yourself.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that, is it because of the nature of your job that the nature for, because I know even some of them here are also in the armed forces.
Yeah, we have here prisons officers, we have here armed forces officers, we work in the forces, so I could say it goes with the nature of the job.
So for civilians like me and Kirigo, if you're interested in, you have...
yeah, definitely. As I said, it's a hectic society.
I think ours would fall under the sports karate.
Yes.
I think ours would fall under self.
No, it will fall under any. In fact, we have emphasized you train. It's for everyone, karate.
It's for everyone.
It's only that during the process, as you say, the nature of the job, you have to train some of these things.
Yes.
Some of them are compulsory, because you just don't walk out there to an enemy just with a weapon. You must know how to disarm this person, and such like things. You are walking here, street here, maybe your car is broken down in some dangerous place. You have to know how to defend yourself in case you are someone doesn't need to help you. So there's a lot of things that you need to train
on. Let me ask you, where is Kenya placed when it comes to karate as a sport in the world?
In the world, that one depends on how much. That one depends on how much we are participating in the world level. We've been going to, the last time we were there was back in 1912, back in France. Last year we were unable to go to Germany because of financial constraints. The much you participate in the world level, the much you... Actually, I believe the government is doing something about promoting every sport. So the much we appear there, we are back to number 57 or something.
Oh, 57 out of?
Out of the whole world, because not every country participates. We are trying our level best. In Africa, we are number 9.
Okay, cool.
And last year when we delivered some medals from Senegal during the African Championships, we were pushed to number 5. So at least we are doing a lot of good.
You've won medals in the African Championships, but Kirigo, one thing is key is that Kenya has found it a bit difficult as far as the main regional events. For example, the All Africa Games, where karate actually features as one of the disciplines that athletes compete in. The last time Kenya won a medal, I believe, was about in 1992. It's been a while since Kenya won. Was it?
Since that, no, it was back in Maputo when we got a silver. And
before that,
in 1992, back in the games in Egypt, there were several karatekas participated in Egypt. Actually came back with a bag of medals. And that's when Kenya started featuring. There was no consistency in promoting karate since then. That's when it fell back. And then we are trying our level best to bring it back where it was.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Bernard, I think it's important to talk to the core karatekas.
Yes, the core karatekas. And one thing, Kirigo, is that the sport of karate has different levels. I'm sure the Secretary General can affirm that. Is that there is kumite. And in just a moment, they'll be showing us what kumite is. And kumite is basically self-defense. I think Mtuko can do some comments just to explain to us, for those who do not understand what karate is all about. Now, these two gentlemen, Mr. Juma, of course, is one of the heavyweight karatekas in the country. He'll be doing what is called kumite. So what are they doing right now?
No, this is the way. It's the art of fighting, the self-defense part of it, and we call it bunkai. It's an application. There is what comes before this. What comes before this first should be kata.
Should be?
It's called kata. It will be done here, kata.
Okay.
And these are some of the applications that you're supposed to apply with your enemy in case of any.
Let me ask
it's
you
a
something,
reaction thing.
Mr. Muchoko, as you're going through rehearsals, I mean, they're kicking each other and they're dropping each other.
Yeah.
The rate of injury, isn't it quite high during practice sessions?
I have to tell you, they are very cautious. They are very cautious. You can tell me if it happens in the streets this way, nobody would come out healthy. Nobody will come out healthy, break you or something. When they lift you up, they just let you go. in street fight. But this one, because it's a display, they have to be very careful in what they do. And for sure, so that's part of self-defense. Counter-attacking an assailant. And this is part of kumite.
Kumite.
When you see them dressed them in gloves, these are some of the moves that they use while in the ring. They compete with. This is the sporting part of it.
Oh, this is another sporting.
This is the sporting part of it.
How am I determining the winner or the loser in terms of this?
Normally, this one is a controlled one because the environment here and the space doesn't allow.
Yes.
So this is a controlled part of the sporting part.
Yes.
If there was enough, they would be being green. They would be very aggressive against each other.
It's a number of kicks and blows I post to my opponent that determines whether I'm the winner or the loser.
Now, Kirigo, what they're going to do now is what is called the kata.
Kata.
Kata is demonstrative karate, and it's not as in a hand-to-hand combat or what you just seen earlier. It's slightly different. It's a bit coordinated, and the key is how you're able to coordinate. It's very interesting to watch, actually.
Let's see.
So, Mr. General, as in exactly what are they doing? How do you calculate the points? Because
the way it's actually based on coordination, power, strategy, and focus. So when they compete in this, the winners are mostly the ones who are most well coordinated and have power.
Your mind has to be together, Bernard, I think.
Yeah,
when it comes to breathing. You have to be well choreographed.
It's like synchronized swimming.
It's like synchronized swimming.
Yeah. You have to be very well coordinated. In fact, during competitions, there are always three in a formation of three.
And a formation of three?
Yeah. So, due to circumstances, one of them could not make it today.
Okay.
But it could always be explained with the two.
What is Kenya's strong point in between the two genres that we've just seen, this kumite and this kata? And I know that North Africans are our biggest headache, but which is Kenya's strongest when it comes to two categories?
Categories, at least with kata, we've been fighting for the North Africans, like 5. We have a hefty budget for them to come and update us on this kata. Otherwise, for the kumite is the one that we've been bringing medals. This one needs a little bit technical training, and these are our best players. They've been training our level best with our local coaches, though we are trying very much to curb with the standards, to bring the standards up.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Mutuku. Karate has been in existence for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
Is this a sport that modifies with time, or the basic rules from since inception are what you use till today?
This, like any other sports, the rules keep on changing.
Oh, the rules change.
Our coaches, our referees need to be updated all the time. That's why I'm saying we want some international instructors to come here in this country. It's easier for us to ferry them in than to take our own out because of the expenses.
Yes.
And we want always to be updated on the changing rules.
Okay.
So, as I said, you have to be very real when it comes to, and very realistic when you go to competition. You have that confidence.
Okay.
First, Mr. Mtuko, it's important now to interact with some of the athletes just to find out Kirigo. And this gentleman here, he's the one who's actually helping the lady here to spar. But I'm interested in finding out because he's competed against the North Africans, and they're one of Kenya's biggest headache. Mr. Kiarie, I could just interrupt you briefly. I'll not be in the middle because I might get a roundhouse kick here from the lady. Just tell us, you've represented Kenya numerous times, and you're one of the most experienced karatekas we have in the country. How has it been for you? Why did you start karate?
Okay, initially, I was born and bred in a slum, the Malaya slum. So living in the slum, you have to be tough, no?
Yes.
So by chance, I joined the Utali Karate Club,
which year was this?
It was back in 1998 when I was still in high school. So unfortunately, it was a good place to train at, the Kenya Utali College, where they accommodated me and I started training there. And with time, I joined the national team back in the 2000. I've been in the national team since then, competed severally in the nationally, regionally, internationally. And it's been a good experience.
You've been the captain at one point, leading Kenya in several regional championships. We've just heard that the North Africans are Kenya's biggest headache. You've competed against the North Africans. What makes them difficult to defeat?
It's maybe because of their, I can say, their exposure. They're more exposed than us. They compete so much in the international matches, especially the Egyptians. I've met the Egyptians maybe twice in the quarterfinals. I think because of that exposure. But with time, we are getting them.
You have the Zone 5 championships coming up in just, I think, a few weeks' time. Next month in June in Rwanda, in Kigali.
Yeah.
Some of these countries will be competing there. How are you planning to approach that?
In fact, Egypt are coming for the championship.
Yes.
Because they're in Zone 5 and they are ready for them. We want to prove them wrong that we can do it also.
Okay.
Yeah.
What we were doing earlier on, I was trying to punch it. How are points calculated? Is it the same technique as boxing? As in, is it the same thing as in like body shots at once give you points, head shots? Is it the same thing? How are points calculated when it comes to kumite and the actual physical interaction?
For karate, it's a controlled techniques.
Yes.
All techniques are controlled.
Okay.
You can't injure a person.
So if I punch like this,
that's a 1 point.
That's 1 point.
The punch goes to the stomach.
It goes to the stomach,
I face her.
So I won't hit you.
Yeah. Change.
Yes.
This punch goes to the stomach.
Okay.
Goes straight
Stomach there.
and pull it back.
And pull it back.
That's 1 point.
That's 1 point.
This goes to the face.
This goes to the face. Head
1
shot.
inch. 1 inch to the face. It's not the. Don't hit the face.
Okay.
Some inches to the face.
Okay.
And pull it back. That's 1 point.
Just on that particular gesture, how do you control yourself? Because it's a physical action.
Watch this way.
Okay.
And she's standing there so...
I don't think I'm doing
So
this.
confidently.
When you
and
train
Yes.
from training,
Yes.
you get that control.
You get that control.
Don't feel just comes there and back. Just feel it from
You
there
have to
and back.
recoil it just before you're about to.
Yeah, to touch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the head shot is what gets more points.
No, a punch is 1 point.
Yes.
To the head, 1 point. The stomach, 1 point.
Okay.
A kick to the stomach, that's 2 points.
Okay.
A kick to the head, that's 3 points.
Okay.
A sweep, like punch,
Don't worry, viewers. Of course, she's one of Kenya's top karatekas. She's not. She's okay. She's fine.
that's 3 points.
She's one of the few ladies who competes, and I'm also interested to find out. She's competing. She's been to the country numerous times. Just say your name, and you've been doing karate. Just stand here. Just stand here. Just stand here. You've been doing karate. Why did you decide to do such a sport, martial arts? Why?
My name is Ruth Wanjiko.
Yes.
I decided to do karate because it's very good, especially women's. That's why I like karate.
Just you like kicking people. That's the truth.
Fighting, self-defense.
No. Okay, self-defense, present my country.
Yes.
Yeah.
How has it been for a lady doing karate? Because there's this assumption that for ladies, somebody would think that you're too abrasive when it comes to interacting with people. My director was joking, saying that perhaps even finding a better half will be difficult.
Husband.
In fear. It's okay, no problem.
Okay, kwa madem. So madem wananiambia ati, ai utaolewa kweli? Because unafanya karate, naambia hapana. Yes nitaolewa,
Yes.
but these are sports to represent country, to self-defense, but si kupiga mbwana.
I like that. I like
Of
that.
course, discipline ni kitu ingine important sana kwa sababu ni lazima
Kabisa.
ujue vile kujicontrol kwa sababu I've had stories that you find sometimes Kiara, you can even actually just getting into this conversation. Is it true that sometimes it takes a lot of self-resolve? You find that you're in social settings, mtu anataka kukuchokoza tu ndio one hii karate yako ni ukweli kama mnaweza
Unaweza chapa ngumu.
How do you control yourself? Because at times you can tell that this gentleman here is trying to get into your business. How do you have that self-control?
Through training, you get that self-control. Because when you're training, we learn how to control everything, to control our mind, our kicks, our punches, our emotions, everything. So from the training, that continuous training, we learn how to control everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bernard, let me just ask the Secretary General something. I've noticed that the team you've come with is of a certain build. You know, we're this high,
Yes.
we're this small. So are you trying to say that I cannot do karate because of how big I am?
No, who said that?
No, I'm just looking at what has been brought here, the sample that has been brought here. Bernard don't fit perfectly.
Yes.
No, no.
And I don't know that fits that group.
Karate, they know, it's been categorized even with weights.
Ah.
So there's heavyweight, there is more, there's lightweight, like in boxing. So any person can train karate.
Anyone can train in karate.
In fact, you in particular, you can.
Okay. All right. Then there's also the issue of age. You know, does age play a crucial factor when it comes to developing the karate skills in a person?
Yeah, surely. Even on that note, we are emphasizing with the school sports association. Karate starts at the age of 6.
6.
With a low age, a kid can come, jump around, try to do whatever, but when he's tired, can sit down, watch, and definitely we see him doing or her doing something constructive. When it comes to 6 years and above, we really need to get in touch with schools. I know these instructors are not enough. We are going to work with these people so that we can emphasize on discipline to schools, bring karate up from the lower age to the biggest age possible.
Okay, all right. So that means I can also play. I can also, you know, train for karate. I stop having an excuse.
Yeah. In fact, we have an instructor who's going to South Africa with the 7 of them. He's 70 years.
Oh wow, nice, nice. Okay, so now I leave Bernard Ndong. He's the one.
Just before that, Kirigo, I think it's also important to find out from the Secretary General some of the challenges that they face.
Oh yes, of course.
Some of the challenges that they face, because I believe financial constraints are one of the biggest headaches.
Surely, we don't need to speak about that because it's been hard. Sometimes as officials, we even use our own money.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you're in the office, there's nothing you can do except make sure the sport you love is prevailing like any other sport. So, like I said, we are always fighting for looking down there to outsource funds to support us. The government cannot do everything for you, and they always tell you the right thing. But all we need to do is to cooperate, keep requesting, because we have no any other main avenue we can do, especially karate. We see games being sponsored, rugby, safari rally. We are trying to approach these people to show them this is a sport. This is not a street fight. It's a discipline sport you can invest in. Use this to advertise Milong. Use this to advertise, but we even stay. We have campaigns that stay away from drugs.
I think his title should also change to Secretary General Suzoka Marketing Director. Thank you very much, of course, Mr. Mr. Now, I think it's also prudent, yes.
It's only right for you. You're the one who's dressed appropriately.
Absolutely. This is called a kimono. It's called a gi. That's what I was told. This is tying it was quite a challenge, but at least I was able to manage. We have to ensure that it's actually very tight. Am I right here, Mr. Kiari? Well, just tell me exactly when I'm tying this, what is required, because I noticed that it's just above the waist. Is that the standard?
It should be above your waist, just slightly above your waist.
Why?
Then to hold your gi.
Okay.
To hold your bottom.
This actually.
Yeah, this garment, the top uniform is called the top gi.
The top gi.
You should hold
yes, the lower, I couldn't be able to have the lower gi because it was slightly big and slightly baggy. But basically, how does this? How integral is this for the sport? How does it? Why is it like this?
First, because of the white security.
Yes.
Karate is a very dynamic sport, which requires to be clean.
Yes.
Not clean about the clothes, but
actually, I've never seen any gi that is that. Most of the time, it's normally pristine white.
Even your heart should also be clean, and your mind. No, everything you do should be white as your gi.
Yes.
Okay. Now the belt is just for the grading, the level, the way you have started. Like for you, they've given you a white belt.
Yes.
I hope you're going to join the club.
Absolutely. Hopefully.
So for you, starting with the white belt.
Yes.
At the next level, you go to the yellow belt.
Yes.
And the yellow, you go to the green, then brown, then black.
Okay.
Now the black
yellow, green, then brown, then black.
Yeah, black has 9 stages.
Okay.
You have to reach the 9 stages, but that goes also with age.
Okay.
Karate is not just a sport.
Yes.
It's a martial art.
Okay.
It's a tradition something. It's like a tradition from the Japanese.
Okay.
So you have to go with age. Like from the first black belt to go to the second black belt,
yes,
you have to take around 6 years to get the next black belt.
So like the gentleman who will be traveling with you guys to South Africa, he's 70 years old.
He's 5th dan.
5th dan.
5th. Not
dan.
yet.
That's one of the highest levels.
Highest level, yeah.
Okay.
But still has 4 more to the 9th dan.
4 more. Wow. He's 70 years.
70 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the sport itself, as Kirigo just touched on earlier, because if looking at both of us, we can easily go into a Taekwondo dojo and we could easily pass for Taekwondo practitioners. How do you differentiate Taekwondo and karate?
Okay, first, karate is from Japan.
Yes.
Japanese. Okay. So use the Japanese language.
Okay.
And Taekwondo they use the Korean.
So do you know some of the terminologies for if you're to do something in karate and then you do it in Taekwondo, how would somebody tell the difference?
Yeah. This one is called roundhouse kick. You call mawashigeri.
Mawashigeri.
In Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah. In Taekwondo they call it dorio.
Dorio.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds South Korean. That's Korean.
That's Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one is called maigeri in karate.
Maigeri.
Yeah. It's called abchagi.
Sounds like my leg.
Yeah. My is straight. Geri is the kick.
Is the kick.
Yeah.
No wonder, even when I noticed earlier on when you're doing the sparring, when you're kicking, you are saying maigeri, and then when you're doing the sparring, you're telling maigeri. Okay. Yes.
Mai is the front, and geri is the kick.
Geri is the kick.
Now the punch is called zuki.
Yes.
Zuki. So this oizuki.
Oizuki. Oi meaning what?
Oi is the fast punch, going straight. This one is called gyakuzuki.
I'm learning some Japanese here this morning.
Reverse punch.
It's called
mawashigeri. Roundhouse.
I think I'm lost now. There's mawashigeri. There's maigeri. Sounds like a song, but of course, for karatekas, you've said that the points are mostly body shots, and comparing it with other sports, I find it like it's somewhat of amalgamation of Taekwondo and Judo, because I noticed you have the body throws.
Exactly.
Is that the case?
The origin of karate came from China.
Yes.
Most of these martial arts came from China, even the Judo and even the Taekwondo.
Yes.
Because a long time ago, let me talk about history of karate a bit. Long time ago, they were banned to use weapons in China.
Yes.
So they didn't have to learn how to learn something. They had to learn something to defend themselves.
Yes.
So that's why they started these martial arts.
Okay.
So karate was one of them.
So you say I got him. You're not...
That's too far from me. Here is better.
So if I do this, okay. You see how excited you get. So basically, you have to be alert.
Always.
You have to be alert.
Always.
So if I do something...
But for us, we don't attack.
Yes, or you defend.
You defend ourselves.
Okay.
No fast attack. We say no fast attack.
Let's see that. Let's see. You can call some of the colleagues and let's just do that. Of course, just interested to see how they'll do that particular technique. I want to see how they do the attack. You can give me the mic. Let's just see how it's done. Mr. Mtuko can just explain to us what is happening.
Yeah, it's just...
Yes.
This is counter-attack. The way it's been trained. Wow. It's counter-attack. Whatever. That's how to counter-attack the oizuki. Okay. Several ways of attacking. There are several ways.
Yes.
That's the first one was one of them. This is another way of them. And as many times they can show different techniques. So you're being taught normally how to counter-attack.
Very lifted, this gentleman.
Yeah.
Does that mean that karatekas, because I'm seeing the gentleman there, Mr. Juma, is one of the biggest karatekas.
Yeah.
Do karatekas take part? Do they do gym work? Do they go to lift weights?
Yeah.
Is it part of the training? Because when you lift somebody...
Yeah, what we emphasize on is to use your own weight. Use your own weight. Don't go lifting metals, because they slow you down, actually. This is a game of speed.
Because here I think he's 60-something kilograms, and the gentleman here is 90 kilograms.
It's a technique.
It's a technique.
It's a technique. There's a way he's using his speed to beat himself.
Okay.
He is his own speed. So there's a way you should counter.
Let's do per chance that this is a weapon, because you talked about self-defense.
Yeah.
And let's say, because in terms of size, he's bigger than him. So let him have the knife, and also the advantage of size. Just tell us, basically, like if teaching somebody basic self-defense techniques, how would they go about it? Somebody's coming to attack them with a weapon.
There are several ways of defending yourself with weapons.
Yes.
And I have to tell you this, when they train, like now they are training how to disarm someone, they have to be very careful.
Yes.
Because if you get excited at this stage, you can break someone's arm.
Okay. So
they have to, you see, it's very slow.
Yes.
They can do it very quickly, can very easily injure him.
But that is subject to training.
Yeah, this is one of the... There are so many ways of disarming people.
Yes.
So you can use a weapon, you can use a knife, a rungu, there's a sword. There are so many ways of...
disarming.
Yeah, disarming. There's so many variety of techniques. And this is what we emphasize. When you say you are aged, you cannot do the sport karate. This is what we emphasize on. Come in gym, get we showed how to counter-attack it. So that...
but what is key is that even for somebody who's watching, that you have to be trained by a professional karateka.
Yeah.
Don't just see what you see on TV. Because there's this perception that people watch these karate movies,
No way.
the likes of Steven Seagal.
No. You have to train
Yes.
at the gym with a person who knows. What the video shows, it shows is just trying to give you more. They add something
Yes, they add
from what
something.
you know.
It's showbiz.
Yeah. But it's not showbiz. The person who's displaying this is just the way you are seeing
Yes.
it. Maybe someone is going to try this at home.
Yes.
We want that. But someone who knows how to what he's doing, you could have learned now. Okay, yes, you can also do this. So actually, those ones are used to brush what you have.
Thank you so much. That is
Yeah.
Mr. Mtuku, of course,
Yeah.
the Secretary General of the Kenya Karate Federation, who has honored us this morning on the Power Breakfast Show. And for me, that's it for now. But basically, just before we wind up, I think it's important. I saw them doing the kata technique there. Kiara at least will come and show me just to do exactly how you can do it. And just to wind up, I'll just basically try and see how you can be able to do the kata. You only put your left leg that way, right? And then like that. Like that. Like that. Like that? Oh, super. Well, as I continue learning some karate, I go backwards, I can basically say that we head into the next studio. As I lift my hand up, head into the next studio that way. Of course, we have our guest artist. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Everybody was